Hey everybody, how you doing? Wanted to create a video in regards to the holidays. So today's topic is mindful holiday spending. So I know it's the season of giving and we have a lot of loved ones that we want to purchase gifts for. So I want to pull up some articles that I found on the amount of money that we spend and how much debt we get into as a nation here in the United States. But I wanted to read what my little cousin pulled up on her AI Snapchat. So it reads, studies have shown that the average American consumer can accumulate around $1,000 in debt during the holiday season. This includes expenses like gifts, decorations, travel, and entertainment. However, it's important to note that this amount can vary significantly depending on an individual's circumstances and individual financial situations. Some people may spend less, while others may spend more. The key is to create a budget, prioritize spending, and find ways to celebrate the holidays without going overboard. So, the first thing I want to touch on is my concern with the amount of Americans that don't have $1,000 to cover an emergency. So I want to begin with an area of concern. According to NerdWallet 2023 savings report, most Americans save, but many can't cover a $1,000 emergency. And this is concerning because, especially during this time, we don't want to put ourselves at harm. We want to make sure that we're still purchasing gifts for the ones that we care and love, but we also want to make sure that we're not doing any financial harm to ourselves. All right, so the next article that I want to pull up is one by Forbes discussing 2023 American holiday spending trends. So it was found that over a third of respondents anticipate spending more this year as opposed to last year. Of those Americans, 58% of them anticipate using credit cards. So they're getting into debt. A lot of them have noted that they plan to use the credit card to accumulate over $500 worth of debt. Another area of concern, because one of the things that we tend to forget is that interest works either for us or against us. And I'll give an example of how that works. But the last thing that, in my opinion, that our loved ones want for ourselves is to get into debt and get trapped into an endless cycle where perhaps now, the upcoming year, we're just paying the minimums because our minimums have increased because the amount we've spent on our credit cards is closer to our limit. And then lastly, I pulled up an article from PR Newswire, and this is to do a survey done by Achieve, which is a loan lender. And they had a survey that 37% of consumers will spend months paying off holiday season debts. They do note, while most Americans prioritize using money on hand to pay for holiday expenses and being budget conscious, half will still take on debt this holiday season. I want to discuss why this is so alarming. And I think this is something that we fail to realize is, as mentioned earlier, interest can either work for us or against us. And one of the easiest ways to figure it out, like how it's going to take a long-term effect on us, is by using something called the rule of 72. This is where you divide the number 72 by the amount of interest that you have. So, assuming we're using your credit card, according to NerdWallet, the average interest rate on credit cards right now in the United States is 22%. So if we take 72 and divide it by 22%, the amount of debt that we've doubled now increases to a 3-year period. So again, if you're just maintaining, you're paying the minimums, and you're still paying interest in 3 years, now your debt has doubled. So now most Americans have a traditional bank account, and their savings does pay an interest. For example, Wells Fargo gives you 0.15% for every dollar you have with them. Just to make it easy, I'm gonna say that they give us 1%. They're being generous. Now your money that's in that account is doubling every 72 years. So the math isn't mathing, right? You're getting into debt, and that doubles every 3 years, and then you're saving in your traditional bank, and that's doubling every 72 years. So these are things that we need to consider. Now, there are some accounts like a high yield savings where now you're earning perhaps 5%. So now 72 divided by 5. Let me pull up my calculator. Sorry, y'all. I don't know that off the top of my head. Now our money is doubling every 14.4 years. The amount of interest that we're paying in credit cards though still surpasses that. So that's why it's important to get into some investments and really utilize that to your advantage. So we see the effects that interest has on our money. So these are just things to be aware of. And I get it, you know, we're gonna purchase gifts, we're gonna host people. So during this time, pick up a side hustle. You know, find a referral method where you pay or you charge a fee for referring people to their business. So this holiday season, let's be mindful with our spending. Let's not get too crazy with that. I know we're gonna do what we're gonna do. I get it. I have nephews that I want to spoil and give all the gifts that I can. But I also want to be able to educate them as they get older on how to prepare for it. You got this. Enjoy your time with your family. Peace out.